Now I'm going to show you the Picot Cast-On, and the Picot Cast-On starts with a slip knot, and it also starts with a knitted on cast-on. So if you have not watched the video for that, you need to watch the video and practice a knitted on cast-on before trying the Picot Cast-On edge. So we're just going to use the knitted on cast-on to have 5 stitches cast onto our needle total, so that slip knot counts as 1 stitch. And now I have 5 stitches on my needle. Okay. And what I'm going to do is actually reverse my work and knit the first 2 stitches. So now I have 2 stitches on my right hand needle and 3 on my left. I'm going to pass the first stitch over the second stitch, so I now have 1 working stitch. I'm going to knit a stitch off of my left hand needle and pull it off, and then pass that first stitch on the right needle over the second stitch to bind off again, and place my stitch that was on my right hand needle back on my left hand needle. And that is the picot that we've made. So we've made 1 picot. So let's practice that again. You can see we have 3 stitches left here. So if we want to have 3 stitches left again, we need to make sure that we cast on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because what we'll do is we will actually decrease away these 2 stitches and make those into a picot, which will leave you with 3 more stitches in between. Okay, so again, to make the picot, we're going to knit these first 2 stitches onto the right hand needle. We're going to pass the first stitch over the second stitch, knit the first stitch off the left hand needle, pass the first stitch over the second stitch, and replace the stitch back on the needle. So you can see we've cast on 3 and 3 to have 6, and we have 2 picots. And that is your Picot Cast-On. Let's try it one more time. So to end up with 3 stitches remaining, we need to cast on 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we need to work our picot. So we're going to knit the first 2 stitches onto the right hand needle, pass the first stitch over the second stitch, knit a stitch off the left hand needle, pass the first stitch on the right over the second, and then replace that stitch on the needle. So you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stitches cast on, and we have 3 picots. So once again, that is a Picot Cast-On. You can vary the number of stitches between your picots. You could only cast on 4 and decrease 2, which would leave you with 2 stitches cast on. You can increase that, so you could cast on 6 and decrease 2, which leaves you with 4 stitches between your picots. It just depends on how you want your picot edge to look.